And for some sports stories, here's Olumide Macaulay.
Thank you, Millicent. Welcome to Sports News. The stage is now set for the 4th edition of the Remitter Corporate Champions Cup, which holds at the Yaba Tech Sports Complex between August the 12th and the 26th. This year, 8 of Nigeria's leading brands will compete in what has been regarded as the most prestigious league of all corporate football competitions in the country.
For participant teams.
The management of System Specs, sponsors of the tournament, brand ambassador, participants and the media are gathered here to create awareness ahead of another edition of the Remitter Champions Cup, football in action that features corporate bodies.
We want to build a relationship such that officially you are relating, off work we're able to relate and relax, which is one of the primary objectives of the Remitter Corporate Championships. We want to create an atmosphere where families will be able to interact, friends will be able to interact, and everybody to just feel very relaxed.
The Remitter Corporate Champions Cup is actually the jewel on top of our corporate games family, which includes, of course, the Nigeria Bankers games, the oldest of them, the telecoms games, the FMCG games, and the insurance games.
The exciting thing about the 2018 edition is that participating teams will vie for a brand new trophy, which can only go for keeps if a team wins the tournament 3 consecutive times.
The way the draw will be done, we'll try and make sure that teams from the same sector do not meet each other. Makes it very well.
With that done and dusted, the 8 participating teams get to know who they face in the quarterfinals.
Friesland Campaigner, Remitter Corporate Champions Cup 2018. Match 1, Friesland versus Nine Mobile. Match 2, First Bank versus Unilever. Match 3, Leadway Assurance versus Credit Direct. And match 4, IHS defending champions against FCMB, who are making their way back into Remitter Corporate Champions Cup after almost a decade of absence.
The participants can't wait for the real action to begin, especially as this year's winner becomes the first corporate body to lay hands on the new giant trophy.
Thank you. The Super Falconets of Nigeria will face Haiti tomorrow in their second group game of the 2018 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Falconets battled to an odd goal defeat at the hands of 2-time champions Germany in the opening game on Monday. The Falconets need an outright win over the Central American side to put their game back on track. Head coach Christopher Danjuma is expected to field an unchanged side that played against Germany in their first match. The local organizing committee, LOC, of the recently concluded African Senior Athletics Championships have expressed deep shock at the news of the death of Kenyan athlete Nicholas Bett. Bett died this morning, a day after returning from Asaba, Delta State, where he and his colleagues did Kenya proud to emerge as the overall champions of the continent's flagship athletics event. In a statement, the LOC says the sudden death of Bett was a big blow, not just to Kenya, but to the rest of Africa. Cricket South Africa CSA has confirmed that the Yellow Greens of Nigeria will feature in the 4th edition of the Africa T20 Cup. According to the CSA, the competition will take place over the weekends of September the 14th to the 16th and September the 23rd to the 24th. Other teams listed in the tournament include Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and selected regional clubs in South Africa. Nigeria has been placed in Pool D along with Northwest, Northern Cape, and Limpopo. That's it on Sports News, and Millicent will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Thank you, Olumide. The United States has announced plans to impose sanctions on Russia after determining that it used a nerve agent on Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia, former Russian double agent in the United Kingdom. According to a U.S. spokesperson, Heather Nauert, the government of the Russian Federation violated international law. Sergei and Yulia Skripal were found unconscious on a bench in the town of Salisbury, England, on the 4th of March. Well, they were seriously ill, but later made full recovery after spending several weeks in hospital. Russia has strongly denied playing any role in the attack. The sanctions are to take effect on or around the 22nd of August. Well, death toll from Sunday's 6.9 magnitude earthquake in Indonesia's Lombok Island has risen to 347. Authorities say most of the dead were found in Kayangan, north of the island of Lombok. 1,447 people were injured in the disaster, while over 100,000 people have been displaced. Authorities have succeeded in evacuating 2,000 tourists. Local media showed some of them crammed into a beach on the island of Gili Trawangan as evacuation measures got underway. Meanwhile, medical and rescue workers have been struggling, and this is to deal with survivors terrified of being indoors after the quake. And of course, former Zimbabwe Finance Minister Tendai Biti has been denied asylum by Zambia, which says he did not deserve it. Biti is one of the 9 main politicians in the opposition being sought by police for being behind last Wednesday's protest that turned violent in Harare. His lawyer had earlier said he was being detained at the border with Zambia by the Zimbabwe authorities. An alleged Zambian police report circulating on social media states that Zimbabwean officials tried to detain Mr. Biti after he had crossed into Zambia. And the main news again. The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, today called for an investigation into the barricade of the National Assembly by security operatives. He also commended acting President Osibajo's swift action. The Senate President also met with the chairman of the electoral body, Mahmoud Yakubu, over funding of the 2019 elections. Also today, the presidency defended the sack of the DSS boss, Lawal Daura, by the acting president, insisting the president gave his consent to the action. And the U.S. announced it would impose new sanctions on Russia today following an alleged poisoning of ex-spies living in the UK with a chemical weapon. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. You have a good night.